Busted suspect. Amber Butler explains. Crisis soaring.
Good morning, Granny T. I don't really know the temperature here this morning. I wouldn't pay any attention. But anyway, I actually did a little bit different today instead of going to go random, and then we can talk about it after the fact. The title this morning being the plan. We've been hearing a lot of stuff about a plan. Well, when you don't plan, or how is it they put it? If you don't plan to prepare, if you fail to plan, it's a plan to fail. That's it. Anyway, or prior planning prevents pitiful performance. We've all been planning a little bit. I think we all were panicking for a little while. We know what we're up against right now. We've all managed to get these little checks as different things, and they're planning on giving us more, which if you're on fixed income like some of us are, it's a good thing. But on the planning part, we already see that food scarcity is happening. I went out and bought all the kind of vegetable seeds, enough to replant 3 times if need be, just in case I have some type of trouble. Too much rain, something doesn't come up, whatever. I actually plan on saving some cups or getting some cheap cups from the store, the paper cups, to start seeds in. Good morning, Ladette. Everybody's well here. So on starting seeds, it goes into another thing. I don't know how many of you, I know Granny T, I know you have some livestock, but for ones that don't, if you can find somebody around you that is one that sells, excuse me, that sells rabbits, not necessarily that you want us to go buy rabbits, but if you can get some rabbit manure to start your seeds in, you can start seeds directly in rabbit manure, and it works really, really well. Now, if you can get any type of manure, be it horse or cow manure, say you've got a stable or barn close that you can start getting some of that now. That way you can set it out, cover it up, and let it kind of be composting before it gets time to plant. And you can be using it on your plants. Don't use chicken manure. It's too acidic. It'll burn your plants. Okay, so make that plan right there. Sit down, make out a list of what you want to grow or what you're able to grow in limited space. And I don't know about the goats, Granny T. I can't speak on those, but I know the rabbit, it works awesome. So there you go on that. If you need to get somebody to turn over a garden spot in your yard or whatever, now it's time to do it. We've had plenty of rain. The ground is actually going to be too soft to probably till much, but you can do a couple of things. You can pre-merge it. You can, make the organic pre-merge out of salt and vinegar. You can buy commercial pre-merge. You can cover it with a tarp, but go ahead and start this stuff now where you're not going, I'm behind, I'm behind, I'm behind. Take 30 minutes, an hour one day and go outside and do it. Save you a lot of headache. But plan it out. And one of the things I found that was hard to find right now was zucchini seeds. They are hard to find and also expensive. Now, speaking on Granny T, I think you told me you had chickens too, didn't you? Well, I'm fixing to get another chicken coop and start replenishing my chickens and going back to. I ordered my seeds from some of them from Hoss Tool, and then I'll have to look at the other place. I'll have to look at the other place where I go to see. But I can buy them in bulk there too, just like you can to Co-op. I didn't want to take chances of waiting to have to get to the Co-op to get them.
The suspect's place of employment. A few hours into their shift, detectives catch a glimpse of.
Oh, I didn't know you could buy. Well, I forgot. I remember seeing you can buy seeds with food stamps. That's a good thing because one seed will produce more food than that $1 worth of seed will produce more food than the $1 I buy in the store. That's what I was trying to get out. Okay, getting off track here. So, plant what you eat. Find out what your family eats. Find out if you have enough room, you have the time, you have the ability. You may even want to plant extra that you may be able to possibly sell. But make sure you plant more than you can eat. That way, you can put some up. Because we've all talked about canning and whatnot. So, talking about putting your vegetables up. If you have the ability for another freezer, you're looking for another freezer. Now's the time to buy a freezer. Don't wait till everything's over with. Deer season's in. People been hunting. They should all have freezers bought if they're going to buy. So, if you find a used one, they should be getting cheaper. They should be in stock now. It wherever Lowe's or wherever sells freezers. So if you're fortunate enough to get these so-called stimulus checks, make a plan with it, because I know everybody has bills, but budget those bills out and just don't go wild, because somewhere down the road, doing this stuff and planning it out, it's going to be a lot better than having another TV or something that's, that pair of shoes or whatever. Get something that's going to be of some use. Use a little common sense about it. It was kind of ironic that Walmart came out with TVs for $5.49, whatever it was, right about the time that they got a $600 stimulus check. So it's $600 to cover a new TV. So I wonder how many of those checks got blown on TVs. And yes, $100 in seeds will go a long way, but it doesn't go as far as you think it does. I purchased about 70 some odd dollars worth the other day. Again, I got off subject. We're talking about doing the vegetables, growing the things. Right now is also the time. We know how bad canning supplies got last year. You couldn't find them. Budget out where you can go every time you think about going to the store or you have somebody go by the store or whatever. Budget that $10 or whatever it is and pick up a case of jars, a case of lids, or I shouldn't say case, a box of lids. Any other canned supplies you may pick up at the thrift store or Salvation Army store or whatever. Right now is the time to get this plan in motion. And this is not a plan for next week. This is a plan for August, September. Because I don't think that anything is going to get really, really worrisome until after summer. It is what it is. We're just going to have to live with it. So, with that said, we've covered the cannon, we've covered the garden, we've covered the fertilizer about the garden. You start seeds inside. It'd be better to start them than it is to put them in the ground and let them just come up if you can, or start part of them so you stagger your growth rate. If you'll start some and then you'll get some producing before the others get mature. So that gives you an offset. And if possible, we're supposedly in this grand solar minimum. It's going to probably need a longer growing season anyway. Try to get as much time in as we can. Plan your fall garden, plant your greens and things like that you're going to have that you can put in after the fact. Or if you plant early enough and spend the time with it, then you can possibly plant again and get a second harvest in of some of the things that you like, possibly. Okay. Now we've all went through this panic of rush, get ready. Now it's time to revamp your plan. You know where your plan had holes in it. Go and find the holes. Take notes. Inventory what you have. Know what you wanted to have. Work on getting what you feel like you did not have that you needed. That'll be one of the biggest helps that I know of. Another thing is knowledge. They can't take knowledge away from you. I bought a book called A Practical Guide to Simple Living. I know a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that I was doing wrong, a lot of stuff I didn't pay attention to. So I think the book was $9.99. It's the book I had on the cover, or the picture. It was $9.99. It covers how to build a pole barn, some cooking, tomatoes, just a little bit of everything. Most of it I already knew. Some of it I didn't know. There's also the books called Foxfire books. They're a really good reference source, but get these reference sources on paper. I know I've talked about it, getting it and printing it out or whatever, but again, this is that $10 prep that we talk about. And this is I ordered this from Amazon, but it came from a place called Half Price Books. It's online. But don't be careful, Miss Vivian. Don't be trying to drive and watch. We don't need any wrecks. A useful thing that I ran across, we talk about these totes, the large water totes, the 275 gallon water totes. Some of them are good for water, some of them not good for anything. Well, I'm sure everybody has seen the people that take a clear gallon milk jug and will put a light on it. Y'all forgive me, I forgot to cut my TV off. And I know y'all don't want to hear it. He can reach over there that way. Sorry about that, people. But anyway, those large totes, the ones that you don't have to clean out for potable water, can also, I believe, be used for a big yard light, because you put water in it, the water is going to magnify, even though that's it's not necessarily a clear plastic, but it's still going to magnify some light going through there to either put a light, leave the water down lower, put it on the side of it, shine through it, like almost like a yard light kind of thing, if around for your animals. So that on the water tanks. There's so many things you can do with water tanks. Making hay feeders out of the cages, building, like I say, the actual water tank, hot water. You could also do. Anyway, we got that. So put these things on a list. Make a priority out of it. Whatever needs to be a priority. Make plans on these projects. That way, when you run across something, be it a piece of PVC pipe to make a feeder for your chicken coop, or you run across some pots to plant in. It's getting that time of year. Everybody's about to get stir crazy. I know we've got everything going on, but in the South, yard sales are not going to stop. People are still going to be doing their yard sales. Look online, look on Facebook Marketplace. So much of this stuff will be just showing up. But don't be sitting back like, oh, I wish I had that, or I wish I did this, or I wish I did that. Make a list. Accomplish that task, mark it off the list. It's that simple. That way everybody's covered. And also, I'm sure like Granny T and several of you have other people that are out all the time. Let it be known. Say, hey, if you see this, pick it up for me. If you got people that'll do that. That's a good situation to have if you have somebody that can do that for you. So anyway, that's about all I've got today. I want to be a little bit more structured and not just be so random. If y'all got any questions for me, feel free to ask them. We've only got 5 people watching, but hey, I got 5 people. I know 5 people care about my well-being, because I've had plenty of people ask me, send me messages and emails and ask me, and those I really appreciate. The book's Country Wisdom and Know-How was the name of the book. I call it something else, but that's the name of the book. Country Wisdom and Know-How. I know at one point in time, Tractor Supply had it because I've seen it there. So it has a lot of stuff. It's not exactly what I was hoping or thought it was the book. It has a lot about animal husbandry, different stuff about chickens and how to raise and what to do. And it's got stuff about rabbits. I'm going off. I'm looking at it right now. What all is some of the things it says: attracting hummingbirds, baking basic bread, breeding livestock, uh, building homebrew equipment, growing the best tomatoes, uh, natural milk soap, healthy rabbits, and weaving baskets, and it's got a lot of different things in it. It says 1,887 illustrations. Buying and selling a horse, don't worry about that. How to cane a chair. Not worried about butterflies. They're all good. It's got stuff about pickling. If they got it in stock, Granny T. But the thing about it is, the place that it actually came from was Half Price Books. And it was cheaper to order it through them than it was to get it off Amazon. Okay, yeah, I guess that's what I gave for it, but I think I gave more than that. That's what it is at Half Price Books. It's $19.99. What's the same price at the other place? They've been shipping and tax on it to cause it to be a little more. But I plan on getting a couple of others just to have. It's even got stuff like growing garlic, and I've never tried to grow garlic. I know normally you can get garlic from, say, the grocery store and plant those bulbs, and it will grow. But it may be or may not be a hybrid type situation. I don't know. That is one thing that I did notice when I tried to order some the other day. Garlic was sold out. Lots and lots of places. Seeds are sold out right now. Lots of them. You may want to look at Facebook for a seed swap in your area. But like I'm saying, make this a priority. Don't sit back and go, I've got time to do this, I got time to do that. Because I'm not the only one that's going to be talking about this. Unfortunately, I didn't know it till this morning. Before I had already done all this and planned it, and preparation was saying the same thing about growing food. So everybody's kind of on the same page with all this. If you have the ability to build cold frames, that's just a box with some sort of window or glass top on it, a miniature greenhouse, if you will. I've got a place in between my house and my shop, It's a little hillside that gets lots of sun during the day, and I'm probably going to put tomato plants on that hill. Is that when you need to plant it, Granny T? Because I have no earthly idea when to plant it. Okay, well, I missed out on garlic this year. I'm in the process of looking for a chicken coop and chickens. That's something that has went up in price, is laying hens. I think it's right now in this situation, if I can get grown birds to start with, I think I'll be better off. Then add some young birds in there with it. Oh, a good rooster. What's the matter? You got too many of them? He will fit in the pot. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to purchase a coop because right now I am unable to, as most of y'all know, being in a wheelchair at the moment, getting a little better every day. But hopefully by the time it gets time to plant a garden in summer, I'll be able to do it. Have high hopes anyway. Well, Granny, all I'll tell you about them roosters is you may have to send them to freezer camp. Oh, wow. That's awesome. An Excalibur dehydrator. That would, I bought some copper seeds with mine. Yeah, that's what we used to have to say about our rabbits was send them to freezer camp. No, it's nothing wrong. I mean, nothing wrong with it. That was a very wise investment. Much better than a TV. I wished I lived close enough with a group of like-minded people to be able to purchase a large freeze dryer and share the thing where more than one person could get use out of it. Because one person, I don't really see one person getting the entire value of it out. I probably need another dehydrator, but I just hadn't got one. I hadn't purchased one. Of course, the biggest thing I used mine for was making jerky. My daughter loved beef jerky. That's what I said, though. If you had more than one person on it to make it worth it on the freeze dryer. I'm not saying that it's too much for one person most of the time. Well, okay, everybody. We're starting to drop some viewers and all. I've been on here for about 30 minutes. I think that's been one thing that's been getting me. My live streams and my videos have been a little bit too long. So I'm going to end this one right now. I promise to do better and get some more content out and be easier to get a hold of. I do appreciate everybody that called and checked on me or sent emails and checked on me. It was greatly appreciated. I was fine. Just kind of laying low, trying to sort things out and get my house in order, so to speak. But y'all have a great Saturday. God bless everybody. Hopefully God blesses us all. And we're going to make it through this. We all got one another, and we're just going to work our way through it. Y'all have a good day. Well, I missed y'all too, Miss Ladette. I'll be back. Have a good day.